Don't want my advice? Then suffer the consequences. Hey all. So this story involves a railway, and the collective agreement that we railroaders operate under. I'll try to simplify it since some terms are industry specific. This happened a few years ago. My crew and I were called for work on a train leaving east from the port. While doing our paperwork at the start of the day, I noticed through our live train tracking system that a westbound train was about 30 minutes travel time out from the yard, but only had 1 hour left on their federal hours of service, which absolutely cannot be exceeded. They also had 12,000 feet of traffic to yard, which alone takes 12 hours to compete. As soon as I realized this, I called the local manager, called a TM. Now, I had 13 years seniority at that point. The manager had spent 6 months as a trainee railroader before switching to management. Total seniority, maybe 1 year. I suggested that he swing us to a rescue ticket in the payroll system and we would go out immediately and help that train. Normally this would entitle us to a 2 hours off-duty spacing between tickets, and up to 8 hours rest if we wanted it. But we offered to decline that to help the other crew. He immediately declined and confidently explained that the crew was just fine and they would be setting half their train out en route at a storage track. That move takes even longer than yarding in the port, due to track clearances and stuff needed to allow the moves. So, I just shrugged, hung up the phone and continued with my paperwork. It turned out that even if they had the time on their clock, that track had unreported cars in it. So the TM frantically tells them to make a run for the port. During this time, we had gone out and started working on building our own train. We talked to the inbound crew and agreed to help them land the first cut of cars and secure their tailed cut before their federal 12th, required by law. So, there we sat. The inbound crew landed half their train before houring out, and left 6,000 feet of train blocking the only piece of rail in or out of the entire port terminal. TM then calls us on the radio and the conversation went like this. TM. Hello crew. I need you to go down and pull that second cut in to clear the rail. Crew. Okay. And then we taxi home? TM. No. You get back on your own train. Crew. No. We only handle 1 train per ticket, and this ticket terminates at our home terminal. So if we handle their train, we taxi home on pay. You could cancel us and put us on a rescue turn ticket like we originally suggested. But if we do it on this ticket we go home. TM. Okay, you're cancelled and called on a turn. Crew. So you're saying we're cancelled? TM. Yes. Crew. Okay. Since we are cancelled after working, we are all taking 8 hours rest. And we are the only crew in the terminal to do this work. TM. Wait, what? Crew. So are we cancelled? Or is there a taxi coming after we yard that train? TM. Yard the damn train. Funny thing is, it was a beautiful summer day. If he had just taken my suggestion, we would have yarded their train and jumped back on ours, making 2 tickets worth of pay, but saving the railroad a lot of headache. Instead, we yarded half a train and got paid to play on our phones in a 4.5 hours taxi ride for the same rate of pay as we would have gotten on the 10 hours train trip home. Didn't understand half on the jargon, but the manager wouldn't listen and hopefully learned a lesson. When you only have 1 track in and out of port, you do whatever it takes to keep it clear, and any good manager would have looked at what is coming and going, the crew requirements, and thought ahead. This guy was just a plain idiot. It's a joy and a wonder when you have a rock-solid contract, union and management doesn't bother to familiarize themselves with it before making demands that they then expect you to clean up after for free. If this is the light version for non-railway muggles, I'm wondering how it would sound when told in the inner circle. As a non-American, one understood absolutely nothing. Besides that young manager rejected the sound solution you provided. Then ended up having to get back to you and you being able to take full advantage of that. Teach him a lesson kinda moment. 6K featuring are about 1.8 kilometers for anyone wondering. A 4 kilometers train. That is absolutely mad. I assume you have completely separate rails for those. And not just one cargo rail next to the passenger lines but like a proper network. That would take forever to wait for when passing. I'm a train conductor. There are so many great stories like this, but it's hard to share with people outside of the industry because of the terminology. Ferengi Rule of Acquisition number 92, there are many paths to profit. Astonishing that so many companies use inexperienced managers. The worst is that they make more money than the people actually doing the job. Zipper mouth face. I don't work railroad, but live near a train town. It all sounds quite clear, actually. And that is problem with not promoting from within. I dated a lineman way too long in my 20s. I understood it all. Grin, well played. Non-train translation? Op sees problem coming. Suggests way for boss to mitigate. Efficient but it costs money, wages. Boss, nah bro. Train is problem. Boss, y'all go deal with this and then do more work and extra time to end your day. A. Team, nah bro. Rules say under this scenario we get to do B. To end our day. Boss, okay then I pick nuclear option. C. Because I'm a petty, cheap bitch who won't admit I'm wrong. Team, okay bro. But rules for C. mean we take 8 hours off first and no one else is here who can do the work. Boss, fine do. B. Huffs. Then some detail I don't understand, but generally if boss had listened initially it would have been better. Valuable lessons to all you young managers out there. Listen to the guys who did the work. They have the experience, they know what they are talking about. Authority versus reality. Lol. This is why my Factorio bases always jam up. I watched the movie Unstoppable, so I understood about half of what Op was on about. Good post. I wish my dad were still here so I could show him this. He worked for the railroad in a freight yard outside of NYC. He worked from after World War II until he retired in the 80s. I was warned many times not to even think about working for the railroad. All they are hiring are college grads who know nothing about trains and only care about numbers. Hey, at least I got to drive a train once. TLDR, something about trains I think. I am lost, I don't understand any of the lingo. Even your jargon light is unintelligible. Look mom, a choo-choo train.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.